Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to hear from our wonderful presenters this evening. And so before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to mention. First, if you have any questions at all, we ask that you submit those through the Q&A button. There, the presenters are ready and available to answer any questions you have about the application process. Your camera and microphone are off, so you are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. And there are more sessions happening. So there are more sessions happening tomorrow. So feel free to sign up and share all the wonderful content that you'll be hearing. And then lastly, this recording will be available a week from today. So if you are interested in rewatching this session, it'll be available at strivescan.com/Texas. And our order for tonight's session, we are in session C8. So right where my mouse is, will be the order in which our representatives will be sharing tonight. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to our first presenter from Drake University.
Thank you. Hey everybody, my name is Rachel Butler and I am the regional representative for Drake University. So while Drake University is located in Des Moines, Iowa, I am here in Texas with all of you. So let me jump into this presentation. Hopefully you all can see the screen and I'm sharing the right thing. So let me kind of get through this presentation for y'all. So Drake University, located in Des Moines, Iowa. I do want to share that Drake University is a private liberal arts college. So we are going to be on the smaller size as far as an institution is concerned. Definitely when you're considering, or rather you are from Texas like myself and you know of very large institutions. So we have about 3,000 undergraduate students. And this is a really great visual of Old Main, our oldest and main building right on campus. But with us being a smaller institution comes those smaller, intimate class learning sessions. So 10-to-1 is the average student to faculty ratio with the average class size of 21 students. But even though we are small, my friends, we have over 100 different degree programs for you to choose from. I think that's phenomenal for a school our size, but you can get a quick overview of a variety of different colleges or schools where you can study. But altogether, we have over 100 different undergraduate programs, as well as 36 graduate programs. We are a very active and engaged campus. So our students tend to be involved in all of the things, and we have over 140 organizations. Again, for a school with just 3,000, I think that's pretty amazing. This blows my mind being from Texas, but we are a smaller school that is Division I. So when it comes to athletics, you're definitely going to have kind of that rah-rah spirit that comes with a D1 institution. One of my favorite facts is that most students on our campus are not from the state of Iowa. We come from all over the US and all over the globe. And to the right, you'll see our alumni have bases all over the globe as well. So 50 states and 82 countries. A little bit about Des Moines, just to kind of paint this in a Texan perspective. It's a very Austin-esque type of vibe, about 800,000 people. We have more people in Des Moines that are millennials or younger than Silicon Valley has, y'all. So this is a very young, active, artsy, music, political hub type of a city. So I'll go over a couple of steps for you to know as far as applying to Drake and what the admissions process looks like. It's entirely free to apply to Drake, $0. You can apply to us either through our website directly, or you can choose to apply through the Common App. And this is one of my favorite things about Drake and one of the big reasons I wanted to work for Drake. We have been for 6 or 7 years, a test optional institution. So you can either choose to be reviewed primarily based on your test scores, or if you want to not submit test scores, totally okay. You can do an interview with me or write an essay. So really, my friends, whatever your strength is, lean into that. And that's how you can apply and be reviewed and receive scholarships. We are a lock-in tuition school. So this is important to me. That means when you start at Drake, whatever your sticker price is year one stays the exact same all 4 years. It will not increase. So I find that to be pretty phenomenal. And then we also give scholarships to every single student that is admitted. So the minimal amount for our seniors coming in to freshman year at Drake this year is $21,000 per year to $25,000 per year. So we give some healthy scholarships. And if you're considering transferring, you can see here that we have a really lovely range of per year scholarships for transfer students as well. And I have one final slide, or rather, I lied, a couple of slides, but the final idea is stats for success. So I'll go through these quickly. So 98.1% of our students have a job in their desired field or grad school 6 months after graduation. 92% of our students receive will get an internship, one or more, and this is my favorite stat, that 91.2% of our students actually graduate in 4 years. You can see that the national average here is about 41% graduating in 4 years. So that wraps up my presentation. If you would like to contact me, I live here in Texas, but I am from kind of San Antonio, northeast and west. Let me know. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you so much. Very helpful information. Next, we'll jump over to Illinois Wesleyan University.
All right, thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Starnes, and I am a Southern Regional Rep for Texas and for Illinois Wesleyan University. I have the pleasure of working with students from the Lone Star State. I'm going to talk to you just real briefly tonight, a little bit about Illinois Wesleyan, find out a little bit on why we were recently named the hidden gem of the Midwest in terms of schools, and also how we rank in top 10 nationally in job placements among all schools and universities. So start off, the Illinois Wesleyan, located in Bloomington, Illinois, about 2.5 hours south of Chicago. Bloomington itself has about 130,000 residents, so it's a good sized town. Got about 1,700 undergrads at Illinois Wesleyan. And that allows us to, of course, keep those classroom sizes very small, on average about 16 across the board. You won't see this at Illinois Wesleyan. We won't see the large stadium-style lecture hall seating. You're going to get a lot less lecture and more discussion. That's what it's all about. We want your education to make sure we give you that extra value to it, making sure you have these quality conversations with your peers, get your questions answered by the faculty. We are an undergrad-only institution as well, so there are no grad students at our school. So it's all about the undergraduate experience. So if you're looking for research opportunities, we certainly have them. In fact, about a quarter of our students are participating in graduate level research. So if going to grad school is important to you, we've got a lot of great ways to help you get the tools that you need to successfully get there. So we dive into school itself. We divide it up into 3 main colleges. We have our School of Nursing, almost 2 decades of 100% job placement. It is a direct admit School of Nursing program. We do have our College of Fine Arts. So if anyone here is interested in theater, particularly musical theater, BFA acting, and our schools of music and art, we have the fine arts covered with a strong liberal arts background. And then our main College of Liberal Arts contains the majority of our 80 major minor combinations. We have everything from neuroscience to political science, psychology, sociology, pre-med, even physics, pre-engineering. There's just so many that I wish I could tell you about, but the point of it all is that we do have a strong selection of majors for a school our size, and making sure that we have a path for you and career, whether it be to go through Illinois Wesleyan or to another grad school. So we take a lot of pride in diversity in our campus. We look to continue to become a more diverse school. We've got about 1/3 of our student population are students of color at our institution. We have an institution devoted office to that, Office of Diversity Inclusion, commonly referred to as ODI. We have special organizations and events for everything from our pre-orientation programs for our students of color to our lavender graduation for our LGBTQ plus community. We're multi-faith across the board, and even have lots of first-generation students, almost 1/3 in this past class. So no matter what your background is, we want to make sure that you feel very inclusive for being included across the board, no matter who is looking to come to the campus. We want to try to be a great resource and voice for everyone. Campus life itself, we've got over 120 student organizations. We have Greek life, so we do have sororities and fraternities, just tons of different events and opportunities to connect with other students across the board. I say all this because we do resemble a lot of your larger university, just again, with the smaller school level. We are D3 NCAA, so we do have our main 24 different sports for our men and women athletes across the board. We tend to dominate our conference in the CCIW, so we take a lot of pride and a lot of success for our students, both on and off competition play in the classroom. Just a lot of proven opportunities for our student athletes, and then also esports. So if you're looking to potentially passion video games, you want to get recruited, that is an opportunity to earn scholarship money through that as well. Now, our financial aid, we never want anyone to be intimidated by the fact that we are a smaller private institution. Over 95% of our students will receive some type of scholarship. Those do go as high as $34,000 renewable each year based on GPA and scores. So our average this past year was a 3.5, a 3.75 GPA, 26 ACT, 1210 SAT. If you're at that range or higher, not only would you be in great shape to be for considered admission, but also on the higher end of the scholarship opportunity as well. The good thing about it is our application is open still for seniors. Our juniors, that'll be next up. App will go live in August. We are on the Common App. We have our own internal app. They are both free, no fee to apply. And we will keep the process simple. We are test optional as well. So for currently, we are offering that as an opportunity and still offer full acceptance and scholarship consideration even through the test optional phase. And in the short term, there are still several ways to visit. We have our virtual visits going on through spring and summer. We have in-person campus visits that we're doing for students in a safe manner, just trying to keep things as normal as possible and very safe. So if you want to visit the campus, whether it be from the comfort of your home or just experience the campus in full, we can definitely make that happen for you, regardless if you're a sophomore, junior, anyone in between. And I'll be here to help again along the way. My main contact information is in the top left. Again, do work with students all the way through the admission process. So if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you all so much and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. As we are about halfway through our presentations this evening, I do want to remind attendees that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to use the Q&A button to submit any questions that you have. Everyone is here and ready and available to answer your questions. So next up, we have Iowa State University.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Dakota, and I am a senior admissions counselor with Iowa State University. I am based in Texas, and I serve and oversee North Texas students coming from North Texas. And I also have a colleague that is based in Austin who oversees Southern Texas as well. Glad you're here. Glad to be sharing a little bit with you tonight about Iowa State. So we are located in Ames, Iowa, which is centrally located within the state of Iowa, about 35 to 40 minutes north of Des Moines, where Drake is located. It's about a 12-ish hour drive up to Ames, but there is an airport in Des Moines that you can fly into as well and then make the shorter commute north. We have top-ranked programs in areas like engineering, are very well known for our engineering programs in agriculture and business. And we have a 96% placement rate for our graduating students. So this means that within 6 months of graduation, our graduates are either employed full-time in an area of study, in a position after they have completed their degree, or they're enrolled full-time in a graduate or professional school program of their choice. So that is something that we take a lot of pride in, and we're able to do that through our strong partnerships with our career services offices that are decentralized within each of our 6 undergraduate colleges. We host some of the largest career fairs in the nation, specifically for STEM, but we do have some other career fairs as well if you're not looking for a major in STEM, for example. Companies from all over the state of Iowa, all over the US, and even some internationally come specific to Ames to recruit Iowa State students because they are aware of the caliber of education that they're not only receiving from their professors in the classroom, but also the opportunities that they have to conduct research with them in labs and develop different mentoring relationships as well. We are a fairly large institution. We have over 31,000 students, and we offer both undergrad, graduate, and doctoral degrees. We are Division I members of the Big 12 Conference, and within our student population, we have students coming from all 50 states in the US, as well as over from 100 different countries across the globe. So you're likely to meet someone at Iowa State coming from your own backyard, but you're also likely to meet someone who is coming from a completely different part of the world. At Iowa State, there's over 900 clubs and organizations that you can choose to be a part of related to hobbies or your majors. Plenty of student leadership positions on campus, whether that's an on-campus job or a leadership position within one of the clubs and organizations. If studying abroad is something that interests you, we send students typically each year, over 1,000 students each year on programs on all 7 continents. So that is a point of pride that we are very excited to return to once we kind of hit back to our pre-pandemic levels there. If staying active is something that you did in high school via sports, we have a very expansive recreational services department that has a variety of intramural sport options as well. So there's always something going on within the campus community. If you know what you want to study, that's fantastic. Like I mentioned, Iowa State's very well known for our areas like engineering, agriculture, and business. But we have 100 different majors for students to choose from. So on this list, you're going to see things like genetics, dietetics, world languages, journalism, public relations, and the list goes on and on. So if you know what you want to study, that's great. If you're still undecided, we welcome you to come kind of explore what Iowa State has to offer you there as well. On your screen right now are the minimum admissions requirements to be admitted to Iowa State. We want you to be aware that if you are looking for a major within our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences or Engineering, they have a couple of additional requirements that they expect their students to come in with, specifically around social studies and foreign language. So we want to make sure you make a note of that. Applying to Iowa State is pretty straightforward. You're able to apply via our website or the Common Application. There is a $40 fee, but if that's a barrier to your ability to apply, we can defer that fee to a later university bill. You'll self-report all of your information on the application, such as your GPA and test scores, if applicable, but we are test optional for admission and scholarship consideration for fall 21 and fall 22 applicants. Most students know right away what their admission status will be, but if it's not right away, if we need to take a deeper look at your individual record, most students then will have a decision made with about 24 to 48 hours. Another unique program that we offer for high school juniors is our CAP program, or the Cyclone Advantage Planning Program. No commitment needed to Iowa State, but it will help you explore our university a little bit more in depth, help you explore different major options and all of the fun things that campus has to offer you as a student. What's next? We are offering both in-person and virtual campus visits, so you're able to register for those. I'll put a handful of links in the chat for you to refer back to. So hopefully that will be helpful for you. And you'll then be able, for those of you that are seniors, you're able to apply for admission now. We operate on rolling admission, so that application is still available for you. And then we move into things like accepting the offer, registering for orientation and housing, etc. What's on your screen right now is my contact information. Again, I'll also be dropping this in the chat, but if you are interested in chatting a bit more about Iowa State, I am more than willing to arrange a phone call or a video call, whatever is most easiest for you. But I think my time is heading towards the end, so I'm going to wrap up and head off to my next colleague.
So much information, but it was very helpful. So thank you. So we'll go ahead and hear from our next representative from Southern Illinois University.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Tabeek. I am an admissions coordinator based at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. And so I'm going to go through some information for you, some brief information about Southern Illinois University. And as we've been saying all evening, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. Okay, so Southern Illinois University is located at the southern tip of Illinois. So we are located about 5 hours from Chicago. And just to give you an idea of where we are at, we have between 10 and 11,000 undergrad students on our campus, and that size does go up with our graduate school. We do have a law school, a graduate school, a medical school, and several master's and PhD programs. Our student to faculty ratio is 13 to 1. What does that mean? That means about 80% of your classes are going to have less than 30 students, and about 60% are going to have less than 19. So we're going to keep class sizes pretty small for being a mid-size institution. We are also ranked as a top-tier research institution. Again, a lot of jargon. So what does that mean? That means that every professor that you have that is employed at our university has to do research. They have to be published in research, and they have to present at several different symposiums and lectures throughout the year. And a lot of times they need students' help to do that. So our students can start doing hands-on research with professors freshman year. And a lot of times when we hear research, we think of in the labs, right? Science, math, but research can be in education, it can be in music, it can be in history, it could be all over the board. So anything that you're interested in, really what research equates to is getting to work with your professors starting early on. And that is a really, really big deal for our students. Okay, so SIU Carbondale does not have out-of-state tuition. Everybody pays our in-state rate. And as I had said earlier, we live about 5 hours away from Chicago. I also live 5 hours away from Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. So we have quite the conglomerate of student population here from all 50 states. And because of that, it did not make sense to us to have out-of-state tuition. So everybody has in-state tuition. And Illinois state law mandates that we lock in tuition. So your tuition will never go up from the moment you start on campus through your 4 years here at SIU. About 90% of our students receive some form of financial aid, whether that's scholarships, grants, institutional grants, anything that you can think of across the board. We are able to award about $10 million each year to students in those scholarships and grants. This is just a brief overview of what our automatic merit-based scholarships consist of for incoming freshman students. We also offer it on the same scale to transfer students. But as you can see, you can receive anything from $1,500 a year to $3,500 a year. And then depending on if your GPA is above that 3.8 threshold or not, then that puts you in the running for our major scholarships. It has been noted by my colleagues, and I'll note it myself, that we are test optional, both in the sense of admissions and scholarships. We were that way prior to COVID, and we will continue that way post-COVID. So we do not require test scores or for scholarships or for our admissions purposes. Our students have 2 different locations that they can live in, East Campus or West Campus. During COVID and prior to COVID, we were able to offer singles to all of our students. So our students really enjoyed that. So each student had their own room, and then they shared a bathroom with one other student. So they still got that great college experience, but also they were able to have their own space. We are Division I in all of our sports. We are in the Missouri Valley Conference. So my colleagues in this conference include Drake and Valparaiso. So we have anything from football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, swimming, track and field. And all of our students can get into those events for free with their student ID, which is great. All of our facilities are newly renovated. They're super nice and they're super fun to go cheer on our dogs. What I have put on your screen is our outline of our budget. If you were to Google us or look at the Princeton Review, you would probably see the number closer to 29,000. The reason for that is those calculations include books and supplies and other living expenses. And when we sit down and talk one-on-one with students, we want to talk about what you actually owe the university and then ways that we can come up with the money for the things that you don't owe, like those books and supplies and living expenses. So we want to give you a clear idea of what you actually owe the institution, and that's going to be closer to $25,000 a year. And again, that is before all of our scholarships and grants. This is just a brief overview of how to apply. We do have a $40 application fee, which can be waived if you believe that you qualify. We will have you and your counselor fill out a form. All we will need is your high school transcripts. You're more than welcome to send your test scores if you've taken a test, but again, that is not necessary. And then if you feel so inclined, please follow us on social media so you can see all the cool things that our students are doing. We are on Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all of the things. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Our next representative is from the University of Iowa.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lacey Patterson, and I am the Texas Regional Representative for the University of Iowa. So what that means is I actually live in the state of Texas and have the pleasure to work with students who are interested in the University of Iowa. I also have today with me my colleague Erin Monroe. She's the California Regional, and she is happy to answer any questions in the chat. So make sure to let us know if you have any questions along the way. The University of Iowa is located in Iowa City and is home to the Hawkeyes. The University of Iowa is the flagship university, a Tier 1 research institution, and a member of the Big Ten. Iowa is home to one of the most acclaimed medical centers in the world, as well as a globally recognized leader in the study and craft of writing. With just under 32,000 students within our campus community, we are full of rich in culture and celebrate the history and story that each student brings to our campus. At the University of Iowa, 1 in 3 undergraduate students are engaged in research at any given time. Students can expect access to faculty with a 15-to-1 faculty to student ratio, and the average undergraduate class size is 30 students or less for 80% of our undergraduate courses. With strong academic opportunities, it is no wonder that Hawkeyes are very successful upon graduation, with over 95% of our graduates employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. With over 200 undergraduate programs and 100 graduate, doctoral, and professional programs across 12 academic colleges, it's clear why the University of Iowa is the 34th ranked public university in the nation. At the University of Iowa, choosing a major is just a start. When it comes to an academic plan, we are flexible at Iowa. You can focus on what you love and work across areas of study to build on your own combination of courses. Wherever your interests lead you, we want to help you get there. The top areas of study for students in Texas who are coming to the University of Iowa are English and Creative Writing, Tippie College of Business, our Health Sciences, our College of Engineering, and our Biological Sciences program. Well, I would love to talk to you about each of our programs. I would need hours and hours to do so, so I'll just focus on our top 3. First, I'd like to focus on writing. Iowa's breadth and depth of writing is second to none. When you think of writing, this is a quintessential skill skill set that you will carry with you throughout your professional and personal lives. At Iowa, students have diversity in their degree offerings in writing. English and Creative Writing, undoubtedly our most well-known and celebrated program, focusing on personal growth as a writer. Our innovative screenwriting and cinematic arts programs with impressive Hawkeye connections to Hollywood. And then our journalism and mass communication program, which takes a multimedia approach to storytelling. Business. The Tippie College of Business is the 21st ranked public business program in the nation. We do offer direct admission for competitive incoming students. Students admitted to the Tippie College of Business participate in real world experiences and leadership opportunities through our Tippie RISE program. RISE stands for Research with Faculty, Internships, Study Abroad, and Experiential Learning courses. Finally, the Health Sciences. At Iowa, the Health Sciences are one of our most impressive academic professional programs. Our campus is home to 3 hospitals, a College of Medicine, College of Dentistry, College of Pharmacy, College of Public Health, College of Nursing, Neuroscience, Speech and Hearing Sciences, Chemistry, Biochemistry, Biomedical Sciences, Health and Human Physiology, and much more. Undergraduates who aspire to continue on to professional programs find strong mentorship with faculty, groundbreaking research, and unique opportunities to be immersed in a robust and innovative health sciences rich academic community. At the University of Iowa, our application for admission for fall of 2022 will open in August. We will accept the University of Iowa application, the Common application, the Coalition application. There is no preference for which application that you choose. As you will see here, our admissions process is very transparent, and we're proud of the fact that our acceptance rate is over 80%. I'm also happy to share that for fall of 2022, the University of Iowa will be test flexible for admission and scholarships. Students are encouraged to apply for admission with or without a test score. Applications without a test score will need to submit an essay and high school transcript with their application. If a student is able to take the ACT or SAT, they are encouraged to also submit that score prior to April 1st of their senior year. Receipt of a test score will never negatively impact a previous admission or scholarship decision. Finally, I want to talk about what our Hawkeyes are doing. Our Hawkeyes are very engaged outside of the classroom with over 600 student organizations, from social, academic, religious, cultural, sports, and philanthropic organizations. There's always something available for students to do. Students are enabled to enhance their education by engaging in their campus community and beyond. Every club, event, and activity is an opportunity to make a new connection and find your own community within our campus. Living and learning in one of America's top college towns, it's easy for students to call Iowa City home. Finally, I thank you very much for your interest in the University of Iowa. If you have any additional questions, I'm also going to put my contact information in the chat. I would love to visit with you one-on-one over the phone or Zoom. But thank you so much for your time, and it's great to be a Hawkeye. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you all. That's great. So before we get to our last presenter of the evening, I do want to just send the last reminder, if you have any last minute questions or anything that's come up during the webinar so far, to go ahead and submit those through the Q&A button. As all the presenters have mentioned so far, that they are here and ready to answer your questions. So certainly last but not least is Valparaiso University.
Sorry, one second. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for being patient with me as I was having some technical difficulties. My name is Lizette Green and I'm one of the assistant directors for Valparaiso University. And I'm located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I'm your regional representative. Valparaiso University is located in Valparaiso, Indiana, which is about an hour and a half outside of the Chicagoland area and about 20 minutes south of the Indiana Dunes. So our fun city is made up of 33,000 residents. So we're a little bit smaller, but I would say not too small, but our students still have access to a large major city, but also not too far from a national park. Some of the great unique parts about Valpo is definitely the sense of community that we have on our campus. We're about a 15-minute walking distance from our Central Park Plaza, where we have many events throughout the year. And one of our more popular ones includes the Popcorn Festival, which happens right before the beginning of the school year, where we celebrate Orville Redenbacher, who made Valparaiso, Indiana his home. But we do have some great local transportation for our students who are either flying into Chicago or if they want to get away to go to a major city. A little bit about the history about our campus. We were founded in 1859 as an independent Lutheran institution, but our students do not have to be of Lutheran background to be a student on our campus. We actually have students from many different religious backgrounds and beliefs, making Valpo a very inclusive environment and for our students to feel very comfortable in what they believe in. We have about 3,200 undergraduate students on our campus, so we're a medium-sized private institution and are able to have an average class size of 20 students and 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. One of the great parts about Valpo is definitely how full we are of our traditions. One of my favorite ones is definitely opening convocation, which is when our incoming freshmen gather at the student union and they walk from our student union to the chapel where all of the faculty and upperclassmen staff celebrate them, joining them, joining the Valpo community. So although we are smaller in size, we definitely have a lot of the great opportunities and ways for the students to feel really welcomed into the Valpo community. A little bit more about our campus. We are made up of 5 different academic colleges, including the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, our College of Nursing and Health Professions, our College of Engineering, and Christ College, which is the 3rd oldest honors college in the nation. As you can see, Valparaiso has consistently been ranked as a best undergraduate teaching institution, which I believe speaks volume as to what our campus has to offer our students. We have some very passionate and caring professors that really want to get to know our students right away starting their freshman year, so that once they get to their sophomore or junior year and they're interested in undergraduate research, extracurricular activities, internships, or some type of summer program, they're able to go and speak and work with that professor to be able to have those opportunities. And I believe that that's something that is great about our campus with a lot of our professors and our students. Something very common for our students at Valpo is the involvement that they have. So what are they doing outside of the classroom? We have over 100 groups on campus, student organizations that our students can be a part of, including intramural sports. We have a lot of great fraternity and sorority life, leadership opportunities for our students to take advantage, to participate in, and then also our service and faith life. We're very happy to offer these to our students who have that as part of they want that as part of their journey in college, and our mission trip opportunities as well. And Valpo also has 2 weeks of our spring break. So a lot of our students do some type of mission trip opportunity during that time. Service opportunity that our students have is our Valpo Day of Caring, which is when a lot of our community members, not only our students, but people all over Valpo, come together for one day of service for many different community service projects. And last but not least, we have our fine arts opportunities, our music ensembles, different ways for our students to get connected in that way. So they don't necessarily have to be a music major to still be a part of that. We're very excited and happy that our students can still find something that they're passionate about, and even if they're not majoring in that, they can still definitely take a part of that. Last but not least, I really want to talk about our application to Valpo. So whether you're a junior or a senior in the room, really want to talk to you about what that application looks like. We're still offering our merit-based scholarships. So our scholarships range from $22,000 to $27,000 a year, making Valpo a very affordable option. We also have our departmental scholarships for the juniors in the room if you apply next year, where you can also be considered for an additional scholarship that can stack on top of that merit-based aid. We are test optional this year. I'm very happy to announce that we will also be test optional for the next coming year. So if you are a student in the room that wasn't able to take the ACT or SAT, or you're not planning to take the ACT or SAT, you can still apply to Valpo and still be considered for some of our larger merit-based scholarships. And then whether you visit us in person or online, we are offering some of our in-person visits this year, but completely understand that that might not be the best option for you. We have a lot of virtual options through our website. So if you would like to connect or learn more about these, I'd love to connect with you and share my information so that you may learn a little bit more about our institution. And if you are on social media, which a lot of us are, please follow us through any of our social media platforms so you can learn more about our great opportunities and things that are going on campus. But thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Great information from Valparaiso University. So we do have a few minutes left in this webinar, and so we're going to go ahead and jump into our Q&A. And we have a few questions for our representatives here. And so I'll ask if they can all turn on their cameras and unmute themselves for our first question, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? I think all students will think that this is some great information and some great advice, especially those who are directly working with all of your various and respected universities and colleges. So again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Do you want us to answer in the same order?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my advice to you all is, as you go through this college search process, try to be very cognizant of what your values are as a person and what makes you happy. I think once you kind of deduce what it is that brings you happiness, that's when you can start asking us as admissions counselors what we have that aligns with your values. But I think the more you find an institution that provides non-negotiable values that are important to you, the more you are likely to thrive where you are.
I think as you go through the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Sorry, Andrew.
That's all good. It's all good. I was just going to say, I think as you go through the process, just be sure to stay in touch with your admission counselor. That's what we're here. We know there's a lot of stress going on. We know it's super busy senior year, but that's what we're here to do, is to take a little bit off that, whether it's just a question of next step or financial aid, especially if you're looking and considering for a very smaller school. There's going to be a lot of ways that we can connect and get to help you and your family along the process. So just get to know your admission rep and stay in touch.
Yeah, and I would echo that and also say, take advantage of the resources that are at your disposal. I think All of us counselors on here would agree that we are here to help you and your families with any questions you have. And then also don't be afraid to take advantage of different resources that your institution offers. So ask questions and see what's available for you.
I think that this is a really stressful and interesting time for you guys, both being in COVID as well as just junior and senior year in general. And I think a way to organize that is with like pro and con lists and to-do lists. And those to-do lists are great, but sometimes things get lost in the pro and con list. So I kind of want to echo what my colleague at Drake said, like find what's important to you, find where you feel at home, and the rest will all come.
I believe that students really need to work with a budget. You need to talk to your parents, loved ones, maybe an aunt and uncle, grandparent, what have you, and really understand what it means to find that college fit from a financial standpoint. Be resourceful with scholarships, apply for any and everything that you can. And then like reaching out, just understand really what that financial budget's going to be like, what those 4 years are going to look like. And if you want to go into a graduate school or professional program, understand those financial resources as well. So good luck.
And yes, I'm just going to echo what everyone else has said, agree. I would also say to don't necessarily cross a school out right away. Apply to those schools that you might be interested in and have those discussions with an admission representative so that you can see what is going to be that best fit for you. But I completely agree with what everyone else has said.
Awesome. Thank you. I think the advice is going to be really helpful for those who are looking into the application process and trying to think and talk to family and loved ones to think about what's best for them. And so our last question, we have time for one more. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? So we'll go ahead and start back in the order in which you all presented in.
Okay, listen, I'm really excited about this. Okay, so Drake University, our mascot is a bulldog. So every year in our Drake relays, which is probably everyone's normal answer, but I'm an animal person. So to start off this relays, which is a massive relays that happens, it's kind of like homecoming in the spring. We do a beautiful bulldog competition of bulldogs from all over the US. So if you happen to have a bulldog, you should submit them. And it's the opposite of what a beauty contest is because it's bulldogs and it's insanely cute. So we have bulldogs come and walk the stage in outfits or they're riding cars, and it's the most adorable thing. It is on Facebook Live. So I highly recommend you tune in April.
For Illinois Wesleyan, we have an event each year called the Big Show, and basically it turns the whole campus into one big party. So students are able to come out and hang out with friends, participate in a lot of activities, team building exercises, and then it all caps off with the concert. Pretty much in the main student center, it turns into a big concert venue. So it tends to be a very popular annual tradition.
Yes, I would say at Iowa State, and I'm also an alum of Iowa State as well. So getting to experience this was a lot of fun. But homecoming week is just a huge party at Iowa State. You have, your weekly events at Monday through Friday, where there's pop-up tents on campus where you can get food. You pay $5 for the button and you have free lunch all week on campus, which is a lot of fun. But the Friday night of homecoming week, one of the traditions is mass campanailing. And so everyone gathers under this clock tower that you can see behind me here called the Campanile. And there's fireworks and the marching band plays and just all of these students from all over. It's so fun. And you can actually check off another tradition with that. You will become a true official Iowa Stater when you kiss your significant other under the Campanile. And so all of that happens around homecoming time. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so at Southern Illinois, we are the Salukis, which is an Egyptian hunting dog. So the first football game of every year, we have the freshman run, which means that a group of freshmen get to lead the football team into the field. But we actually have 3 Salukis that lead them. So the Salukis are incredibly fast. If you've not seen them, please YouTube them. And so it's really cool for them to lead the freshmen and then the freshmen to lead the football team.
At the University of Iowa, ours is also related to football, but after the first quarter of all of our home football games, the University of Iowa Children's Hospital is right next to our stadium. So everyone turns and waves to the families that are in the Children's Hospital. It's been recognized on many different venues, but if you go onto Google or Facebook or whatever, and just look up the Iowa wave, you'll understand, but it still gives me goosebumps. It still makes me tear up, and it's something I'm very proud of.
And I already shared one of my favorite traditions on campus, but in addition to that one, I really enjoy our tree lighting event every year. So we have this really large tree outside of our student union, and every year the whole Valpo community and as well as our residents come together to do a huge tree lighting event. And then we have activities for kids, for families. So it's just a really signature event on campus that is a great tradition that brings everyone together. So very, very much enjoy that event.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing great traditions that are happening across all the different colleges and universities. So it's always great to hear them. And thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our representatives from who all shared tonight. It's really great. And so thank you all. Before we wrap up, I do want to go ahead and share that there is a quick survey at the end. And so when you close this window browser, there'll be a quick 4-question survey that will appear. If you could fill that out and share any feedback for us, it just helps us to be better. And so that'll be really helpful. Sign up for more sessions. We have more sessions going on this week. And so if you're interested in hearing from other schools, feel free to sign up for more. And then lastly, this recording will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Texas. Thank you all and have a great evening.